Hey everyone, welcome back to some more World of Tanks. Today we find ourselves in the WoT 3 once again. It hasn't been too long since we had another video in this one, but this time we're going to be doing a little bit less camping. And by we, I mean Mr. Gabo XD. That is who submitted this replay and who played the game, obviously. And his name, Mr. Gabo, I thought that sounded like something that would be a reference to something else, so I decided to do a quick 30-second Google. And in my 30-second Google, I found that there is a ventriloquist dummy in The Simpsons that has made a number of appearances over the years that goes by the name of Gabo. So maybe he's referencing The Simpsons, but we don't really know. And I mean, what hasn't appeared in The Simpsons over a year? I mean, it has what, 35 seasons and 700 and something episodes. What kind of story wouldn't you be able to write? What kind of thing couldn't you write in 768 episodes? I mean, let's put it this way. There's been so many cases where people are like, oh, look at The Simpsons predicted the future. Well, yeah, but I mean, if you outline 768, I think that's the number, that's, if I remember correctly, from my 30-second Googling. But if you had outlined that many possibilities of anything happening, aren't you bound to get one or two of them right in like a 30-something year span? Come on. Let's not just put this all up to they're predicting the future. I know that nobody's really serious, I hope, about it, but it's funny. Anyway, getting back to this battle, that's enough of a rant about The Simpsons. We're here for World of Tanks, not TV shows. Mr. Gabo here is putting shots into this BZ-68. That one was right through the turret. Not wasting any time aiming for weak spots or waiting for him to make a mistake that time around. Him showing his turret was a mistake. And these premium rounds that he's firing have enough penetration to penetrate anything except what he's aiming at when I'm mentioning that he has lots of penetration. Okay. So now this BZ-68 is sitting back behind that ridge. It doesn't look like he wants to poke again. Maybe he feels that he's lost too many hit points. It doesn't want to do the same thing again. Or maybe he's sitting there waiting for himself to get unspotted and then retreating back to his base. But he's waiting for himself possibly to become unspotted so that nobody knows that he's retreating, and hopefully they won't push up as quick and give him more time to fall back. Well, the Mouse Chin, if that's the case, did not get the message, and the Mouse Chin is taking a big hefty 732 damage hit from Mr. Gabo here in his WoT 3, and this tank has an average damage of 650, by the way, so that's a pretty healthy damage roll. He's now switching back to the standard rounds. I guess he feels he won't need them anymore, doesn't want to spend the extra money, the extra credits on those premium rounds, and he is now pushing up as quick as his tank will allow with the rest of his team for some support. By the time he gets there, I don't know if this BZ-68 will have any more hit points left to feed Mr. Gabo, but we'll just have to wait and see. Mr. Gabo has already got himself up to 2,500 damage done this match, but of course he would like to have some more, and there's no such thing as doing too much damage in a World of Tanks match. Now we see that BZ-68 is actually still here. He's still in the fight. Let's see if Mr. Gabo can put a shot through the front of that Mouse Chin. Absolutely he can. Rolls a pretty average roll, and that BZ-68 looks like he's trying to get a shot at Mr. Gabo without taking too much damage himself. Luckily for Mr. Gabo, sorta, I guess, not that he needs the help, there is another tank destroyer back there that is kind of pinning that BZ-68 down. And now 545 hit points remaining on the Mouse Chin. A low roll. That should have been absolutely no problem whatsoever to finish off that Mouse Chin. But of course, his vehicle picks now to roll more than 100 damage below average. I despise it when that happens. Oh well, that's fine. The Mouse Chin and the BZ-68 are now dead. It is time for Mr. Gabo and his team to push up and see what other kind of forces they encounter. Can he put one into this T-103? He takes time to fully aim it, hits him for a good healthy 680 damage, bounces the shot in return. I'm not sure what to think of the armor on these tanks yet. I haven't fought them enough to really figure it out. Maybe I need to play the line, but honestly recently I've just been playing enough to kind of go down the on-track vehicles, pick one every month kind of thing, and make it to usually the tier 9. Now, what's going to happen? Well, the Scorpion here is waiting to get himself shot by the WoT 3, but he goes unspotted, and the Standard B pokes himself up in front, so Mr. Gabo decides to take out the Standard B instead. Now, the only downside is that now there's a Scorpion back there that was probably going to shoot Mr. Gabo, but can Mr. Gabo guess where he is? Yes, and the Scorpion and Mr. Gabo exchange a shot there at about the same time. Mr. Gabo getting that blind shot kill. Very impressive. I love it when that happens. He took that gamble that maybe that Scorpion had not moved, and he was absolutely right. Now he's going to push up and see if he can find the T-103 around the corner. He is going to be a little bit cautious of what's on his left. You'll see him in a second here put his camera to his right just to kind of hit that last second glance to make sure he's not going to get flanked. And then he's trying to not put any more of his tank. There he is looking to the left. He's trying not to put any more of his tank around this corner than he has to because he's worried about the enemy team pushing around there and taking away a lot of his hit points very quickly. He has lots of hit points to play with now, but if he makes some silly mistakes and throws caution to the wind, then it wouldn't take too long for that to change. 1,500 hit points in a tier 10 match doesn't get you too far sometimes. Now it's time to drive up this hill very slowly, a whole 12 kilometers an hour. Whoopee! We'll break any speed records there. And let's see what he can see when he gets to the top of the hill. Psych, he's not making it to the top of the hill yet. The STB-1 has appeared. And Mr. Gabo is going to see if he can get his gun down on that STB-1 quick enough. But STB-1 is going all in. I don't know if it's because he saw Mr. Gabo or what, but he's put himself in front of him anyway. There goes more hit points to the STB-1 from the STB-1. And Mr. Gabo is going in for the ram kill. He takes a shot in the meantime, but that's okay. Mr. Gabo gets about 1,000 damage from that STB-1. Or close to it anyway. Close enough. We're not doing math. Don't do the math. You'll find that I'm wrong if you do math, so don't do math. And he's done now 6,800 damage this match, plus the blind shot on that Scorpion. Not too shabby whatsoever. He's going to now see if he can find any of the other enemy vehicles in his view range. They are getting picked off by his allies, and it looks like maybe they're all pushed around to the south, back down where the allied Grill 15 and the enemy object is. Now he's kind of looking around, losing a little hope. 10 seconds till the base is captured. There's no point in coming down from the hill now and exploring forward. So you know what? Let's just do what he does and give up and start driving away just in time for an enemy to be spotted exactly where he could have hit. He takes the quick shot there, seeing that drive-through chair was backing up, but it's too little too late. Just like that, that's the total. 6,800 damage, plus the blind shot of the Scorpion that he managed to do this match. Still not too shabby. Blocked a little bit of damage, got a tad bit of assistance. You know what? Overall, a pretty good match. I like seeing battles like this on tanks that I haven't played yet or fought against that much, because it gives me a really good idea of what they're capable of. And what I've seen from it so far in this battle is that it has a pretty formidable gun. Again, I'm still not too sure about what kind of armor it has. I know it has some flat spots, some weak spots, so that's not too big of a concern of mine. But that gun looks like it can be quite scary, especially if you give it some time to work. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching once again. Have a good one.